Hi everybody, this is Lauren from Shabby Chic Sunday, and I am going to show you the newest version of Jane Austen Pride and Prejudice Zombie 2.0. So I'm calling this one 2.0 because I've already shown a flip through of this journal, but this one is different. So this one includes 2 additional signatures from the first one, and then there's also some additive materials that were not in the original. So that's why I'm calling this one 2.0. But again, same thing on the cover. I just used all scraps of vintage material. I've got this as my inspiration, this bride turning into a zombie, bottle of arsenic here, an old watch face, and then all of this is just little bits and pieces from here and there. So when you open it up, I wanted it to be like this is, the book Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. And just like the original one, it starts with a letter. So I've got this feather here, kind of like an idea that this was maybe their quill for writing this letter with their ink. And here is the letter. And this one came from a mother who was writing about all the strangeness that's happening in her town. And people are acting very peculiar, and there's been a warning issue telling everyone to stay inside, stay away from one another, and they're not sure what's going on. But as we know from the many movies and stories we've heard about zombies, we know that they are turning into zombies. So they receive a letter from the mother, and this is a newly wed bride and groom. So I have this image here of a pretty bride, and it says, "Dearly beloved, we are gathered together," and that was a sticker from Tim Holtz. And here's 2 of their gold wedding bands, and then this is from Paris. And then the bride is a tuck spot, and I have this marriage certificate that I typed up, and I left this blank for the recipient to be able to fill that information in with their own facts of their choosing. Okay, pocket here with some tags and ephemera. And it says, "There seemed no possible escape." So I used the Halloween themed Tim Holtz stamps, and I typed up kind of some words that really went well with the journey here of the story. So I kind of thought maybe the gentleman had opened this letter sitting in his chair. He's looking at this photo of his family, and he's about to pen a letter back to her with his quill and ink. And he's just wondering what he should do with his new bride. It's his responsibility to take care of the family, and he's wondering if they should leave town and how they can be safe. So while he's sitting there wondering what to do, there's some ephemera here. He's obviously having a pot of tea and thinking about the best avenue to protect his family. So this flips out. And of course, maybe while he's having his tea, he's also reading Pride and Prejudice. Some other little goodies in there, another teacup here and here. And then this is also a pocket, so there's something inside of there. Okay, I'm trying to remember what these little pieces were. Okay, so then I just typed up like this little itinerary, and I completely imagined what would it look like if he had to depart, and they're going to go as far away as they can to their cottage that they own many, many, many miles away. And so he typed up an itinerary. They purchased their train tickets. And so this packet is all about the train schedule and their baggage claim tickets. And this says here, "I will never leave you." So they've decided the best course of action is to look at their calendar and figure out what is the best day to go away from society to try to stay safe. And it says he was spellbound. So he loves her so much, he's going to do anything he can to protect her and move away from this horrible virus that is ravaging everyone in the city. Okay, so she's just a little tuck spot here. So they're in their room and they're packing. I have these tickets here that they'll use. These are their baggage claim tickets when they get onto the train. And so here is their suitcase, and they're packing up everything that they might need. So I just fussy cut a whole bunch of little things like shoes and hat sets and umbrellas and little things that the lady of the house might need. And I just cut out 2 of her little dresses and made little hangers for them. And I thought those could kind of like just tuck back behind this chair. And I also made a suitcase for the gentleman. So that piece of luggage is right here. So this is how it looks when it's closed. And then when you flip it open, inside are a whole bunch of other fussy cut images that the gentleman might need for his trip. And behind the tuck, our chair is just a little tuck spot. There's some charms here of, again, things that resemble what's in their suitcase. And the other pieces that I had pulled out were dining cars. So when they get on the train, these were menus for what they can eat on their journey. Okay, so they obviously need to get checked by the physician to make sure that they are healthy and safe and able to travel. So I used some digitals here from Little Joys of Bujo. It's called the Vintage Pharmacy Kit. And then I also printed, or scanned, I'm sorry, copies of original pharmaceutical receipts from doctors. And so that just tucks back inside of there. And then these are just 2 other, again, copies here behind this mixture bottle. So they're getting checked by the physician, and making sure that they're okay for the journey. This is a copy also of an original ephemera piece that I had for doctor's notes, what to do for colic, what to do if you have a cold, if you have a cough. So the doctor's notes are tucked in there, and they'll bring those with them for their travels. This is just some vintage sheet music, and it says Riding Home. This is another one. This is the cure for the cough and how to make an ointment. So tucking that away, taking that with them on their travels. And this is one of those CD disc flip-ups. So I have just pictures of their relatives. This is a little tuck spot here with little pieces of ephemera. And then that ends the first signature. So that is all about them departing, leaving town, and trying to be safe. So then I was thinking this would be the front door to their new home. They've left society. They've gone and traveled far out to the cottage. And now they're about to enter their new home. And here's what it looks like. And then there's tea-dyed paper that I've stamped and inked up. And then I was thinking there's chemists trying to get involved and figure out what is going on with all these people. Why are they turning so funny? What is happening to civilization? So there's a whole bunch of chemists, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. So they're taking blood samples. So I have just these little specimen cards that tuck in here for safekeeping. They're taking blood from people, they're taking samples, they're trying to figure out their experiment cards and figure out what's going on. Little do they know, everyone is turning into zombies. Okay, so that little eye there is just a tuck spot. And this is a tea bag here that I just scrunched up. There's another one of the vintage pharmacy mixture bottles from Little Joys of Bujo in here. And then this flips out, and this here is a Jane Austen quote, and it also serves as a tuck spot for this card here. And then this is a packet, and there's some goodies inside of here. Okay. So then, unfortunately, as we can see, the family members are starting to turn. So even though they have escaped, they cannot escape from the virus. So they are succumbing to this disease, and they are now becoming zombies. So I inked up the CD case again. Here's a portrait of more family who is becoming part of the zombie clan. This here is a tuck spot, and there's some more specimen cards that pull out of there. There's some more specimen cards and experiment cards. that are clipped on here. So again, trying to figure out what this virus is that is turning everyone into zombies. This is a packet with some tucks here. Tea-dyed paper for journaling. This envelope here is just filled with additional goodies that I fussy cut, and I thought the recipient can move them around. They're more paper dolls and furniture and things like that to decorate their new home. And this is now the start of the third signature. So this is a packet here. This is also a pull-out tag from the side. And there's a large packet, as usual, between each of the pages. And I had to incorporate this, obviously, even though this is so creepy. This has always terrified me. Image of what they used to wear for the doctor when they came around for the plague. This is a packet, and there's all these little paper dolls that they can move around. And this here is a tuck spot. Tea-dyed paper for journaling. This here is a couple different spots. You have a side tuck spot here. You have a tuck spot here at the top. There's then a tuck spot down below. And I just made this tag here, and it says, "Her eyes were dark." And then this flips out, and there's a quote here from Jane Austen. And then this one says, "Vanishing visitors." And her face is obviously covered here. Another journaling card here inside. This one here, this tag that I made says, "A strange thing happened." And then this tuck here, this card says, "In the dead of night." So a strange thing happened in the dead of night. And again, more paper dolls, and they're all starting to turn to zombies. This one here says embalming fluid. And then inside I have a coffin and a toe tag for the deceased, another family member who was turned into a zombie, a Jane Austen paper doll, journaling space. I just made this little pocket out of old paper, and there's more dolls and fussy cut pieces inside. Journaling paper, all that's been inked and stamped. And then for the last signature, this is another CD case, and it flips open, or up, I'm sorry. And here's a picture, kind of, I thought of the woman reflecting on, you know, what she used to look like before she turned, and she serves as a tuck spot. And then the advertisement for the burial robe and coffin is a little tuck spot pocket underneath for a Jane Austen quote. And then I just have some more of the physician's notes, their RX prescriptions, and this is another image from Vintage Pharmacy. It's a little tuck spot for these cards. Tuck spot here. And so even though this whole thing is pretty creepy about trying to escape from a virus and then succumbing to the virus and becoming zombies, it does end in a love story, so they just learn to adapt. So the reason I say it's still a love story, the husband still finds his wife beautiful. It says her immortal beauty. So even though she has turned into a zombie and so has he, they are still madly in love with one another, and life just changes. It's a tuck spot here, the journaling card that pulls out. This here is a tuck spot with some goodies. Pocket here. Little tag that I made, removable. Oh, this is a little locket. Removable card. And this page here, so it says "My sweetheart." Maybe this is a piece of her wedding dress. And this is the same image that's on the front. And she is a little pocket here. She also flips up. And then here's another image of that, what they wore for the doctor visit. That flips out, and now it ends with "Dearly departed." And there's a picture of them, maybe on a vow renewal, another wedding day of someone. And then this says "completely and perfectly incandescently happy." So even though they have turned into zombies, they still love each other and they're still happy. And then I ended with farewell. And there's the new family portrait now of their growing family, and they've all turned to zombies. All right. Thank you all for watching so much. Have a great day.